Should we be betting on sports? Is it helpful? Is it hurtful? Let's get into it. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Patros Podcast, where we are embracing healthy masculinity. If you're watching this, it's because you want to be a biblical man. My name is Alan. This is Jeff Ford. We are your hosts of the podcast, and our goal is to help you grow spiritually, be anchored in brotherhood, and learn how to put your faith in Jesus into action. Today we're talking about sports betting and if it is something that is productive for us, if it's healthy. So ranging from March Madness brackets to fantasy football leagues to daily parlays, some people say that sports betting is fine and can be done in moderation and can even be community building when done with a group. Others claim that just because it's legalized doesn't mean that it's a good idea. It's unavoidably poor stewardship.
I mean, somewhere I heard you should never bet unless it's a lock.
Unless it's a lock. And there's always a lock to be found.
Unless it's a lock. Oh man, it's a fun topic. What's interesting is if you'd have brought this topic up in the 80s, it would have been totally different than how we're responding now. Yeah. I think a lot of Christian men are definitely okay with betting. It's not even a question of morality to them. Whereas in the 80s, I think this would have been a question of salvation. Like this would have been a sign of your faith. Sports betting is definitely on the rise. It's now legal in 38 states, more every day. We are in Florida, so it is legal here. And what's interesting is like this is a subset of gambling.
Yeah.
And so we're really not focusing so much on gambling
As a whole,
more on the sports betting. But I will tell a quick story. My introduction to gambling, I just shared with these guys before the show. But I was in college, which, again, you're not supposed to. I signed a pledge that I wasn't going to gamble.
So you were in sin already.
I was already in sin. Might as well just do it more.
Yeah.
But I went to the riverboats because, you can
Still doesn't make any sense.
You'll only gamble on water.
Still owned by the government.
First time I go, I made $410 playing craps. I remember the number 410. And I was like, this is easy.
This is the best thing ever.
And this is the best thing ever. And if you ever have been to a casino and you've gotten at a hot craps table, you're like, it is kind of the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And you have to have a rational mind about a casino if you've ever stepped into it. This notwithstanding the morality from a Christian perspective, I'm just saying just common sense. If you step into a casino to gamble, you better be okay with losing every single one of those dollars, and you don't ever go to the ATM. Those are like everybody knows. You need to
think that you're paying this amount of money as if you were going to Disney for the experience.
This is an experience.
When people spend $10,000 at Disney, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And they do that for the experience.
Correct.
So if you go to a gambling casino or whatever, you need to be like, I'm walking in to lose all of this for the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that experience tainted my view. And so you have to quickly, figure out.
You won your first time.
Oh yeah. As a college kid, I think I brought 20 or 40 bucks to that night. Like that was that was a 10 or 20X kind of evening. So
2000s?
Yeah, it was late
2000s.
90s. Late 90s.
400 came a long way. That was rent. That was rent for people.
It went a long way. So, but if we kind of then flip to the sports betting side of things, it is made gambling. Like I had to get up, drive 45 minutes.
The barrier to entry was
barrier to entry now is so low.
Well, I think isn't majority of gambling is being done on the phone.
Oh, for sure. Everybody is betting on their phones. So a couple stats, sports betting, last year, 22% of people in the United States bet on some kind of sports. Now that could have been a March Madness bracket. It could have been squares at, the Super Bowl. It could have been a fantasy football league.
Yeah.
But 22% of people put money down on what's going to happen in a sports environment.
Yeah.
So, and that's up from 19%. It's not a huge jump, but it is a jump.
Yeah.
10% did make a bet online. This is of adults in the U.S. There's 260 million adults. That means 26 million
That's insane.
people placed a bet online.
That's crazy.
Yep. And if I'm being candid, I'm one of them. Like I did. We typically, this is how it started, right? Started with a group of guys saying, well, let's pick like a big parlay.
Yeah.
5 or 6, 10 team parlay. Well, we all throw in a couple bucks.
Which that makes it like extremely hard to win, right?
It makes it extremely hard to win, but the payout's super big. So, but when you're putting in $2-3, whatever, like that's not a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it could be, and like even like me just saying that, some people, if they have a super religious background, they're like, "How could you do that? How can you call yourself a Christian and do that?"
And you're like, "Well, you buy a McDonald's chicken sandwich for $2 to $3."
How many sodas did you drink yesterday? Like what I'm saying is, we all have our things.
Yeah.
The point, and we'll get into it, is, and similar to a previous conversations that we had, we should not be controlled by anything, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, those are just some of the stats. Now, sports betting, is it bad for society or good for society? So society thinks 43% of people say it's bad for society. Dang. This is up from 34% last year.
43% say it's bad, so more say that it's not.
Yeah, but I mean, you're getting close to 50%. I mean, only 1 in 3 last year said it was bad. This year,
how many people are
it's almost 1 in 2
to it?
Yeah. Because it's becoming more prevalent.
Yeah.
Because gambling is one of those things that is kind of a vice that, you had to go seek it out.
Yeah.
That was not, a lot of Christians weren't even tempted with that because you had to go seek it out. But now, just like pornography, like you get it on your phone, like everything is more accessible to us now.
Yeah.
Right. Now, is sports betting bad for sports? Well, 40% of Americans say yes.
Yeah.
That's up from 33% last year. So there is an increasing amount of folks, and I do think you're seeing more scandals when it comes to betting. And so people are saying it's bad. Why is it bad? Because if I'm going out there and I know that there's a bet on my performance, I now can impact the outcome of the game.
Yeah.
And that inherently is bad because it takes away the authenticity or the genuineness of the performance, right?
Yeah, 100%. And I think that that's where, like, why people see it as bad is what revolves around gambling is typically all vices.
Yeah.
It's not really like flourishing things.
Yeah.
It's a lot of vices.
A lot of vices, and the thing about having it on your phone with sports betting now too is that there's really nobody to hold you accountable. So what's interesting and funny about this is I got a friend. I will withhold his name. He loves to bet, and this guy loves Jesus, but he loves to bet.
I know a couple like that.
Yeah. He loves to bet, and as it typically comes, like someone will tell you when they hit their bet, but you don't hear
is when they don't
hit their bets.
Yeah.
And so we were like, hey, for accountability, you're going to put your winnings up on the...
like where you see what's the P&L for the month.
That's what we asked him to do.
That's dope. That's good.
And so just by way of accountability. And so one of the things I would say, and this is kind of jumping ahead here, but if you are going to gamble, and it is for entertainment,
and it has to be a lock.
It has to be a lock. Otherwise, don't do it. Having some accountability around it
is nice.
I think it's not just nice. I think it should be required. Like I think if you're trying to pursue Christ, you're trying to pursue biblical masculinity, and you like the juice that comes with that squeeze, right? Because that's what my buddy says. He's like, man, I just like having juice on it.
Yeah.
And I get it, like a game between,
Yeah, it makes the game more enjoyable for you because you're like, well, I'm not playing on the field, and I don't actually emotionally care about this team as much as other people might.
Correct.
But I care about my money.
My money.
Yeah.
So now this, 1 o'clock Sunday game, and my team plays at 4, I can enjoy the 1 o'clock
because I might make money if these
make
things
some
happen.
money on it.
Yeah.
So is that...
He's an investor.
It's an investment in your... So, I mean, the question is, well, so for him, he's like, I like the juice. I like the... And here's what happens with men, right? When we're younger, we have a lot of outlets for competition. We have a lot of outlets for adventure. Everything is new. And then you grow up. And we're not like taming the wild, wild west. It's not like Go West, young man. You know,
Yeah.
there's riches, women, and gold out there, right? Toby
Yeah.
Keith, like go out and find it. We don't have that. We tend to sit in cubicles, or we're at home working on our
Yeah,
on
if
our
you're living in the
laptops.
suburbs or living in the city, it becomes a lot less competition unless it's business.
Yeah, now business brings about that, but for most people, they're not the business owners.
Yeah,
Unless you're a
you're an
sales
employee.
guy, right? But if you're just an employer, they're doing your job, and it's just there. I think for a lot of men, what is it? Henry David Thoreau. Most men live lives of quiet desperation, and there is this idea that, man, I want to live, and the risk. Men are risk takers by nature.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of risk in my life.
Yeah.
Now online betting comes.
And there's dopamine involved. Yeah.
Correct. Gambling maybe was taboo before. Now it's a little more accepted in society, but I don't know. I'm in a Christian circle, but I can do it on my phone.
And no one's seeing
Nobody
me walk
has to
into
know
a
about it.
casino or place a ticket or
Correct.
Yeah.
But all that stuff happens before the Lord. And this is the games we play.
Yeah.
So whatever you're doing, if you're playing, I'll say this, if you're gambling or you're betting on sports right now and you are hiding it, you should stop.
Yeah. Your conscience is either telling you something or you just haven't fleshed out whether or not you believe that this is right or not.
Your conscience is screaming to you, and the scriptures say that if a man knows the right thing to do and he goes against that, he is sinning. And for you, if you have a guilty conscience about it, now, if it's one of those things where, no, I just need more boldness to come, okay, like we can have that conversation. Because there's probably a time in my life when I felt like gambling maybe was more taboo. Although that's not true. I've kind of always thought gambling was.
I mean, I've always thought it was like, well, my take on it is, and it has been, if I am living check to check,
Yeah.
I shouldn't be spending my money on that.
Right.
Now I know
It's
some people
stewardship.
that have used it to pay rent. Like I'm gonna
crazy.
throw yeah.
I'm just going to say that's crazy.
Like I'm gonna throw this 200, do a parlay, and it might turn to $5,000, and then I got rent for a couple months. And like I mean, there's people out there that do that, but then when you really get into it and you start talking to people, and this goes into like, are you enjoying sports? Is this for enjoyment? Is this for friendly competition, or is this for chasing money?
Yeah.
Or is this poor stewardship of skill? Not even just money. Is it poor stewardship of your like if you're having some crazy payouts at times, you're probably really good and retaining information and strategic. Like you're looking at all these different teams and parlays that you're going to play. For those of you that don't know what parlays are, Jeff could probably explain that because I can't.
Oh, because I'm such a gambler.
Yeah.
I've
never done a parlay.
You're the degenerate here. Yeah. So actually, but that's a good intro to like, if you've never heard this before, there's better videos than I can explain out there, but I would watch them.
Yeah.
Because
Be educated on it.
be educated on gambling, because when we're talking
to the ads though, they'll get you.
don't listen to LeBron
ads.
and Kevin Hart talk about how great DraftKings is.
Yeah.
So here's the deal about gambling. When it comes to online sports betting, the idea that the house always wins is absolutely true. Now, are there times when the sports bet takes a bath? Yeah, there are times. But for the most part, they are highly trained and they have highly AI-driven and algorithms in technology that allows them to predict. Like the predictive measures are better than ever before. Like if there was ever a worse time to bet, it's now.
And they're in
for
business
us.
for a reason.
They make money for a reason. So if they used to be good, now they're great at predicting it. And here's the thing about the sports bet. The sports book they are going to make money off of a commission, and it's called the VIG. The VIG is the margin that the sports book is going to take on any kind of bet. So all the sportsbook is trying to do is to get 50% of people take the over and 50% of people take the under. 50% of people take the Bears, 50% of people take the Bucks. That's what they're looking. So that's why you see lines move. is because money is
That's how you
coming
know
in.
I don't do this is because every time you say lines move, I'm like, what lines are moving?
Okay, so a line would be, if the Bucks were playing the Bears and the Bucks were expected to win by 3 points, the models show that they're a little bit better and that they play 100 times.
Or they've beat better teams in the last.
There's
few games
all
or something.
analytics out there. Yeah. So they would say the Bucks are favored to win by 3. And so that means that's the line. And
so if I bet opposite of that, I might have a bigger payout.
Yes and no. So the Bears are +3, the Bucks would be -3. In other words, the Bears are getting 3 points.
Gotcha.
So if the Bears lose 30-27, that's exactly what they predicted was going to happen. The Bucks were better by 3 points.
Okay.
No money would be exchanged. But if the Bears only lost by 2, then if you put money on the Bears, you win because they covered the 3. They didn't need 3 points; they only needed 2. And if you put money on the Bucks, you would lose. But here's what happens in situations like that. Typically, you'll see lines, and these lines would be maybe like -110 or +150 or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, on an even game like that, -110 basically means you have to bet $110 to win 100. That makes sense? Or you bet $1.10 to win $1.
Okay.
Well, on an even game, if it's 50-50, like if it's a 50-50 game,
you're basically
why am I not giving 50%? I should be getting 50% return, right?
Yeah.
Like I should get an even money. In other words, if I bet 100, I should win 100. I shouldn't have to bet over to win less.
Yeah.
That's the VIG. That's the commission that the sports book takes.
Okay.
So to win in online sports betting, you have to be better essentially than the sports book is at predicting,
which they have
over a regular basis. They invest millions of dollars in research on and predictive analytics based on past performance to show you what it's going to be.
Yeah.
The house doesn't lose. So you are not going to, the stats say this, okay? Stats say this. 96% of bettors lose money over time on online gambling.
That's crazy.
Short-term wins do occur, but research says 96% of online bettors lose money. Sportsbook structure makes the house win. Like I just taught, they're always going to win.
96% is insane.
So that's what I'm like. It's on average, bettors lose 7.5 cents for every dollar wagered, often driven by overconfidence. Well,
yeah, that's guys.
That's guys. I got a lock. So what I'm trying to say, like,
and some of you are still watching this, and you're like, "I'm that 4%,"
but
and like, buddy,
I'm that guy though.
If you're betting, you're not the 4%.
You're just not the 4%. So what I tell people is like, if you are going to gamble, and bet on sports, and that's gambling. I don't think biblically there is anything more inherently wrong about that action than there is, to your point, about taking
going to Disney,
the family to Disney and spending money on that.
That's a bet too, that your family's going to enjoy it.
It's a losing bet. You lost on that one too. You're in the 96% there. You might
have security bring a kid back to you.
I swear they're gonna love it.
Yeah,
you get 3 crying kids,
unless they're like past 10 years old
and sweaty. And gosh, Disney's the worst. I also love.
I love Disney.
I love Disney, but it's the worst.
Yeah.
So like, if you're gonna do it, you just have to know this is the expectation of this is my entertainment. And I expect all of this to be gone. I think that's the only sensible way to bet on sports.
So to give the guys like a clear, because I feel like this is pretty straightforward in the sense of like, to give them a clear breakdown of like, hey, this is the state of mind, life patterns of when sports betting is aligned biblically with like what we believe, it is to glorify God. And then when it is like, hey, you need to put this down.
Yeah.
What would you?
Yeah. So I think that there's a couple of things actually, like, and this goes a little bit to, again, like, what's your motivation for betting?
Yeah.
What's your motivation for, golfing? What's your motivation for video games? What's your all of that? It kind of comes down to the same kind of idea of like, where's the motivation in my heart? So like signs that betting is going the wrong way, like you're losing, and not just your bet, but at life, right? Number one, you're thinking about bets all the time. And I actually, in the Way of the Patros book, I said something about this where, if you are thinking more about, the parlay that you're going to put down when, at the end of church, then you are worshiping God. Like you got an issue.
Yeah.
But it's like Sunday, like, oh man, are the Giants going to cover?
And they're like trying to tell you about Jesus.
And they're trying to tell you about like that is an escapism. It's a distraction.
It's an idol.
It's an idol. So when you're thinking about bets, when it's consuming your mind, when you just find yourself thinking about it a lot, you are what you think. Right. And so that's crazy. If you're thinking about Jesus, or are you thinking about something else? You know, so I think if you're obsessing about bets, that's one sign.
Yeah.
Second sign, if you're chasing losses,
what does that mean?
Instead of walking away, right? I lost.
This next one, I might.
Shoot, I'm down now.
Oh.
I got to make it up. So now
you lost $100, and now you're like, also, not only do I have to make extra, now I got to make that 100 back.
I got to make that 100 back. So what a lot of guys will do is they will take an odds that is worse. Right. So now instead of like just going, well, let me see if I can make half that back,
just trying to come
on
up.
a really safe bet. So like.
Oh, you start playing more risky.
You play more risky.
Okay.
A safe bet might be a team is favored by 14.
Is there ever a safe bet at 96% failure rate?
So here's what I would say is a relatively safe bet.
Okay.
A team is favored by, say, 2 touchdowns. In the NFL, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And the sports bet are usually right on the numbers. Okay. So for someone to be favored by 14 points, they're likely not going to lose.
Okay.
So you can put money on what's called the money line, which is not for them to cover, only to win. Does that make sense? So now, but that will not pay out very much because, like the models show that 99% of the time they win. So it's a safe bet in as much as, but like, let's say that payout, that might be a minus 400, which means you'd have to bet 400
to make $50
to only win 100.
Oh, wow.
Right. So you bet 400 to win 100 on a minus 400 bet. So now you're more exposed on your, but it is a very safe bet. So if you want to make that 100 back, that is something that you could do. And the odds are definitely in your favor.
But most people don't do that.
But most people go, oh man, I need to find a 4-team parlay to make up. And that way I only have to bet 20, but I can win 120. But a 4-team parlay occurring is very rare. The odds, that's why the house always wins.
Yeah.
So you're most likely, but that's what it means by chasing losses.
A loss. Okay.
Right. So that would be, if you're chasing your losses, you got a problem that you need to stop.
Yeah.
I think about the Michael Jordan meme. Stop it.
Yeah.
Get some help.
Stop it. Get some help.
He literally was about gambling. Stop it. Get some help.
You're sick. You have a problem.
You have a problem. I said that to friends all the time. All right. Number 3, you hide it. Or downplay how much you spend. And that's what I was talking about earlier.
And you have shame around. Like
there's shame around it, yeah. So if you're doing it privately, nobody knows you're doing it. I'll tell you this, fellas, if you're betting and your wife doesn't know about it, you're in the wrong. You guys are one flesh. She needs to know what's going on. You need to set a budget, be comfortable with what it is. How I do it is we just come up with a number at the beginning of the year. And then if that number is gone, then it's gone. Right? That's simple. And your wife should have access to it, right? There should be no secrets. So no shame, no secrets. And if you feel some kind of way, guess what? For you, it's wrong. Because this is a gray area. This is not like, for some people here, and they're like, I can't believe you guys are endorsing this at all. I can't believe you're talking about this.
We're not endorsing gambling. We're saying if you do.
Correct.
Yeah.
Number 4, your mood depends on the outcomes. Yeah, if you're Debbie Downer and you're like, what's wrong? Oh man, the Saints, they lost again.
That means you're emotionally tied to the money that you're putting on it, which means you're too far deep in already.
You're too far deep in, yeah. And then finally, and this is kind of goes without saying, if it's impacting your finances or your relationships with people, and I would say primarily your spouse, right? Like if it's impacting, if she doesn't like you doing it, stop it. Like that's what get some help. Get some help, Michael Jordan. I don't understand that piece of it. I do understand it because we want autonomy and we don't want anybody to tell us what to do. But if we genuinely are trying to pursue Christ and our spouses have an issue, like this is totally off topic, but it just happened.
Okay.
Our dog died 2 nights ago.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Louis died. And so it's very sad.
Yeah.
Man, it was like midnight and I just got into bed because I had been working. And all of a sudden I just hear like this, like,
Bro, that
I'm
was
like, what the heck?
You just.
And so I hop out of bed and like, and he was kind of motionless. And I went over there and he kind of peed himself and he was stuck. And so, in 2 minutes he was gone.
In 2 minutes from that?
Yeah, just 2
What
minutes.
was it?
Well, we thought he was dying over Christmas. We actually called the people to come in, and then he like had this miraculous rebound. So like one day he's like running everywhere. The next day he was be like in a corner looking like confused and stuff. So I just think his old age, you know, so I don't know what exactly was there. But my wife wanted to cremate him. I want to bury him in the backyard because that sounded cheaper. And at the end of the day, he gone. She loves animals.
Yeah, she does.
So guess who won?
Big animal girl.
Guess who won? Not me.
Yeah, 100%.
But like that's what I mean. Like when our wives are so passionate about something,
that doesn't make you not manly or not. That doesn't offend your masculinity.
Who cares? Like what? So I had to spend $200 to cremate him. Yeah. Like okay, I spent $200. It was more than that, but I had to.
But that's to the point. Also, like for all of us guys to remember, like Scripture says, and I think it's in Corinthians, right? 1 Corinthians, where do not deny your spouse. And it's talking about sex at the time, but like, hey, if my wife wants her conjugal rights and she wants intimacy with me, I don't deny that to her because she has ownership over my body. Yeah. And in the same way, I have ownership over her body. Now, that also means that if she's declining, it's like that's basically what Scripture, what Paul's telling us is like, there is no autonomy necessarily in the marriage relationship fully. Like there is very much a interconnectedness because we're one. Now, obviously, there's autonomy. I have to answer to Jesus, but to remember that you guys are one. So if your desire is like, yeah, she doesn't want me to play, but nobody tells me what to do. Well, your wife does. Yes, the Scriptures literally say that she owns your body and you own hers. Yeah, like there is a compromise that has to happen.
Absolutely. So I think that's paramount. But it's just really important to know if like your guy who spent $200 to win $5,000, bro, but pay the rent. No. I'm saying that is never okay. Like that, I'm going to say that is always wrong. Yeah, that is always wrong. If you're counting on your betting to pay for your responsibilities that you should be working for. Bible says you don't work, you don't eat. Gambling is not.
Or some of you are making decisions that are putting you in these positions, and so the goal would be like, hey, if you're really good at making decisions because you can do parlays, you can gamble, all these things, then you should be really good at making financial decisions outside. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So
at the end of the day, this is, to me, it's not so much about
yes or no
sports betting. Yeah, it's about like who controls your life. Who has mastery over you? Does this thing have mastery over you, or and does it glorify God? Is it something that you do it for entertainment that is budgeted and is gives you that little juice or thrill, but in a really healthy way? Or is it something that, and some people will say, it's the same thing with alcohol. It's like, it's literally everything. If we can just
every time we talk about it, it's almost like the root is always sin nature, the heart, and are we walking in the spirit, are we walking in the flesh? Yeah.
That's right.
At the end of the day, can you do it to the glory of God? Can you do it right? Yes. Can you do it wrong? Yes. Yeah. And so we would just say, be in community, grow spiritually, be anchored in brotherhood, and put your faith into action, my guy.
I see what you did there.
So we got big finish.
What do we got? Timer's on.
All right, ready? So it is, I think it's on betting. All right, be honest. Have you ever gambled?
Jeff, you've been lying.
Jeff's definitely gambled. He knows too much about this stuff.
I do.
How much have you lost? How much have you won? Do you know anyone who has lost or won big?
All right. So yes, I have gambled. I told you the story first time ever. I made a bunch, so that was bad. I have had one time where I lost. I went in, and this is not a lot. This is back in college, right? So I think I went in with $100, and I went through it very quickly. So I was only there for like 20 minutes, and so I was like, well, screw this. Like I want to have a good time, and I went and chased losses, right? I went back. I went to the ATM and I pulled money out. I pulled another 100 out to go play, and I lost that. You want to talk about
college? You was on one.
Yeah. You want to talk about being depressed?
Yeah,
that made me so depressed because $200 that was like half rent. So.
Yeah, college in the early 2000s or 90s or whatever.
So I would say like I was chasing losses. And I will say though, the good thing about that, and I did learn from it, I'm not going to do that again. So that in my own mind, without all the online experts, I was like, okay, I don't even take my wallet into like, I haven't been in a casino in probably since college.
Yeah.
But if I were to go into one right now, I would not bring my ATM card. I would take whatever it was that I was going to spend
and your ID
and my ID, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I've gambled. I think it was $60 the first time. It was both the times we were on a cruise. So I went on 2 different cruises with some friends. $60 was the first time, and it was somebody had gave it to me to go to the casino.
Oh, that's like, not even gambling.
Yeah, it was like I'm up. I should have just not gambled actually. And then the other time,
but that's it. It's not about the financial, right?
Yeah,
it's about the game and the competition and the experience.
I'm such an experiences person. Yeah. I literally enjoy life so much that I was just like, this is a cool experience. And so like. You've watched the movies, and I was like, oh, that's how that game works. So the second time, one of my friends that gambles a lot was explaining the games, and I was like, okay, where am I gonna spend? It was $100, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do that game, and I did roulette, and I think I made $150, and then I walked away.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, this lady was betting $100 chips or whatever every time I put a $10 chip down. She'd be like, okay, and she would just follow all my plays because because I was just winning, and she was like, I'm just gonna follow. And then I looked at her kind of crazy because I was like, wait a second, I just made you like $5,000. Like, why don't I get any money?
How about a little commission? As the sports book here, how about a little 5%? Throw it my way.
You're giving this guy the tips, but you're following my plays. But I walked away because I learned from my friend. He was like, you always walk away when you're up. And I was like, all right, fine.
Always walk away.
So what I did is I put the chips, I put the profit in my pocket.
Yep.
And then I played with some of the profit.
Dude, that's like a pro. That's a pro move right there.
Yeah. And that's the only 2 times I've bet.
So have you ever played fantasy football?
Nope.
Or like fantasy basketball? Or
anything? I've signed up for it.
So you've never actually done it?
And never committed to it.
Oh,
like I'll do the first like week, and then I'm like, bro, I just don't care enough.
Well, that's the funny part is, so my dad, before he passed, one thing I could always talk to my dad about was sports. You know, that's the one thing that we really connected on. And we started the FFFFFL, Ford Family Fantasy Football League. There was another F in there, league. And he put money on it. And just over the years, he was like, "Oh, it's fine. It's not much." Yeah. So he had an evolving of his take on gambling as well.
Yeah, because the stigma is that people have done it for the wrong reasons, but when you're just doing it for the experience, that's different.
Well, it used to be that to do it, you went to a degenerative part of town.
All the vices are there.
That's where all the vices are. So it was associated with, if you pull it out in isolation, it's a little different. It's more like an entertainment cost, I would say, than anything. Yeah. So I think it's good that we've destigmatized it. I still think the dangers are there.
Yeah.
But
and if you're spending more on that than you are, like if you're quicker to put 1,000 into gambling than you are to put 1,000 into the life of the vulnerable in the church, and to the things that the Lord has called us to be generous to, then we do have a problem.
We got a problem. That's right.
God bless you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this podcast. I hope that you're not gambling to be a degenerate, but that you're just enjoying yourself maybe. But at the end of the day, we just want to be good stewards of what the Lord's given us. So we
Amen.
will see you on the next podcast.